On this special edition of Lexington Now, addressing calls for justice and equality and continuing coverage of COVID-19. Welcome to Lexington Now for the week of June 15, 2020. I'm your host, Noah. As protests for justice continue throughout our nation, the Urban County Council outlined the steps the city will be taking toward reform.
So thank you for the opportunity to provide information about the response of the Urban County Council to the recent protests. Most recently, council members unanimously supported a resolution reaffirming our commitment to combating racism and injustice in our community. We know that words, no matter how heartfelt, no matter how well-meaning, are not enough. To move forward on the statements in that resolution, Council will take two immediate actions. First, tomorrow, Tuesday, June 16th, from 1 to 3 p.m., we will hold a special meeting of the Planning and Public Safety Committee. At that meeting, the Commissioner of Public Safety, the LFUCG Law Department, the Chief of Police, and a representative of the Fraternal Order of Police will answer questions related to the issues that have been raised and possible ways to address them. Second, when we meet on Tuesday, we will schedule a special Council Committee of the Whole meeting solely to take public comment so that we can hear directly from our community. Notice of that meeting and a Zoom link to it will be posted on the LFUCG website once the time and date have been set. Council is committed to taking the action from those two meetings and all that we have heard and seen directly and indirectly from our community in the last 2 weeks. We'll take all of that to fashion concrete next steps. Our job is to represent you, to listen well, to understand, and to take actions when needed on your behalf for the welfare of all in our community.
The committee will review Lexington Police Department's policies and procedures, specifically statutory authority, collective bargaining, and the use of no-knock warrants. In addition, the committee will discuss 8 Can't Wait reforms, which are a national call for action intended to regulate use of force.
Good morning. I'm 1st District Councilman James Brown, and I'm going to take a moment of privilege to acknowledge two very important people to this community. One, Mr. Carl White, who I learned last night had just recently passed. He's a longtime community leader, advocate for the East End neighborhood, which is one of the neighborhoods I'm going to reference a little later. And then also, I'd like to acknowledge our Chief Weathers. Him and his staff have to have one of the hardest jobs right now because they're the direct target or focus of people's frustration and outrage. The streets are talking. People in our community are talking, and we all have to listen. I represent neighborhoods in North Lexington that have a high concentration of the city's Black and brown population, as well as a lot of low-income neighborhoods. And as someone who is born and raised here in Lexington, I can attest that there are inequities and injustices that exist in Lexington. Most of them really highlighted from the pandemic that we're currently going through in regards to access and opportunities. As a member of the Mayor's Task Force focused on racial injustice, I've committed personally to her, and I'll do it public, to be a resource and to be there to help as we address these overarching issues. Today, I'm not speaking on behalf of council. I'm speaking as a member of council. In this council, this council and councils previously have stepped up when our community has cried out. There's members on this council that supported a resolution condemning racism and injustices. There's members on this council who backed the mayor when we relocated Confederate statues. There are members on this council that supported the city's first diversity and inclusion officer. And there are members on this council that supported increasing the minimum wage to bridge the economic gap. And there are also members on this council that were here and supported a Fairness Act that addressed issues around discrimination. So I'm confident that this council will take up these issues and do what's right. Not just do what's right for the moment, but to do what's right for our community. I think today's message is that we hear you, we're committed to working, we're committed to addressing areas where we need improvement and also reinforcing areas that we are doing well. I'm committed to doing what's right and what we need to do to move this community forward.
The COVID-19 pandemic continues to alter almost every aspect of daily life, but there is some good news concerning our 4th of July celebrations.
It is an exciting morning to be here in Lexington. And I want first to welcome Ed Quinn, President and CEO of R.J. Corman Railroad Group. Today we are at Corman's Central Kentucky Rail Yard here in Lexington, downtown Lexington. And today we're here to talk about something fun. Even in the midst of a global pandemic, even at a time when there are so many challenges, there will be fireworks in Lexington on the 4th of July. We want to lift up our city's spirits, celebrate our patriotism, and just have fun. There have been so many things that we have had to say no to in recent weeks. For fireworks on the 4th of July, it was time to say yes. We'll light up the sky with a spectacular high-flying display designed to be visible. So I want to recognize a few folks who've made this happen. We wouldn't be here today without Will Boer, Corporate Counsel for R.J. Corman, April Collier, where are you, April? April Collier, R.J. Corman Marketing and PR, Deputy Director of Parks and Recreation, Penny Ebel. We are joined by William Downey, Director of Government Affairs for R.J. Corman. And we are also joined by Commissioner Monica Conrad of our Parks and Recreation. So Will and Penny, as well as April, worked really hard together on this agreement that allows us to launch fireworks from right here at R.J. Corman. And I'm going to ask Ed Quinn if he will come to the podium and tell us a little bit more about R.J. Corman and why he is willing to host these fireworks at his launch pad. Ed?
17 miles from here is where our founder was born. 17 miles from here is where our headquarters still exist. And 17 years ago is when this railroad behind me started up. So the R.J. Corman Central Kentucky line started 17 years ago here. 30 plus customers, clients that we serve out of this railroad. And we're excited and happy and proud to be part of this community. So when we had the opportunity to host the launch site again this year, we jumped at it. For us, it's an opportunity to give back, to participate in the community that we live in. We hope that it brings some joy to the community of Lexington and Central Kentucky, and some hope. So we're looking forward to a great Independence Day and a great 4th of July celebration.
For me, this illustrates R.J. Corman's desire to be a community partner and to help our community. And like everything else this year, the fireworks celebration will be a little different in 2020. COVID-19 is not going to take time off to celebrate the 4th of July. So we still have to be careful through social distancing and masking. Citizens who can't see the fireworks from their home are invited and encouraged to drive to an appropriate parking lot and celebrate from their cars. There are lots of places to park downtown. Bring your lawn chairs and sit next to your car. Maintain your social distancing and wear a mask. Although COVID-19 has forced the city to cancel the 4th of July parade and festival, as well as the patriotic concert, Parks had several new ideas for this year. The Bluegrass 10,000 is now a virtual race. The Bluegrass 10,000 is on, but virtually. Register by July 1st online at lexingtonky.gov. And let me tell you, almost 900 racers have already signed up. Parks is also sponsoring a door or mailbox decorating contest. Organize a decorating party in your neighborhood. On 4th of July, walk together as a family and check out all the creations. There will be a contest, and I get to pick the winner. Parks is sponsoring a week of festival crafts. Parks will plan different crafts for every day during 4th of July week. All the ideas will be posted on Parks' Arts Work page. So this is going to be an exciting 4th of July, just a little different than usual. And again, I want to just commend Ed Quinn and all the R.J. Corman folks for their wonderful partnership with the city.
Curbside pickup at the library when we come back. Welcome back to Lexington Now. The Lexington Public Library is now offering curbside pickup for all your literary needs through its virtual portal. Here's how you can take advantage.
One of the great things about the public library is that it's a space that brings everyone together. Everyone from throughout our community and our region comes to the public library and comes downtown here to the Central Library. Unfortunately, that's one of the things that can make it dangerous in a pandemic, which is why we had to close down the library buildings. We have a very strong virtual branch here at the library, and a few months before the pandemic happened, we had actually added a virtual librarian to our virtual branch. And part of the reason for that is we recognize that there are barriers existing in our society for people being able to come into the library. For some people, you might be too busy, you might live too far away, you might not have good transportation. It might not be the best way for you to access library services. So in recognizing that, we have really invested a lot of our resources into our virtual branch, which made it a lot easier to roll out our virtual services when the coronavirus hit. One thing that the pandemic has kind of forced us all to do is recognize some barriers and see barriers that we might not have seen in our society before. And I'll give you one example. I've spoken in the past about how my oldest son is autistic. And because of his social anxiety or social disabilities, he would never want to come to a library program. He would never really enjoy that. But during this time, he's been able to attend online programs with his peers, and he's thrived. He's had lots of social interactions and has really, really enjoyed that. So I think that is one silver lining of what we're being able to achieve through all of this. To recognize that there are people out there that library programming as it existed before might not have been a good fit for. And this has helped us to find other ways to reach those people and those communities. Also, just with working parents like myself, I was never able to take my children to story time because I was at work doing the story times actually when they were little. And now thousands of people are able to access our story times now that they're online. Well, programming has always been an important part of the public library. It not only entertains and educates our community, but it brings our community together and helps them find a way to connect. And that's been something that I think we have all struggled with during this pandemic, is being able to connect with one another. So all of the online programming we've done, the story times, the concerts, the book talks, all of those have not only served to educate and entertain our community, but it's also provided a place where we can all connect and come together. And we've really enjoyed that. Our librarians have enjoyed it. The community has told us that they really enjoy it. And even once this is all over, we see that as something that we continue. Well, right now, the library plans to implement curbside service at our East Side branch starting June 8th. This will be the first branch that we launch curbside service at. We're doing it there because the layout of the building, its proximity to a bus stop, make it an easy place to beta test curbside service. And after we've done it there for a while, we'll be able to see how it can work better at each of our other locations and roll them online one by one. We're also looking at other services, other ways that our community might be able to access technology. In today's world, I think we have to realize that the old way, a big bank of computers with people sitting side by side, might not be the best way. So our staff are right now very busy trying to come up with ways that we might best be able to give our community technology access in a way that is safe in this new reality. We're also recognizing that our community often needs a lot of assistance with technology. So shortly after curbside service is online, we'll be able to offer virtual book-a-librarian appointments. So whether you need help with technology, you might need help applying for benefits, or help making a resume or looking for a job, you can book an appointment virtually with one of our librarians and work one-on-one to get that done. And I would also like to encourage our community to go online and participate in our summer learning program. Like everything else, it looks a little different this year. It's all online. There are no reading logs to keep up with. We know that because parents have been spending a lot of time and energy on NTI, myself included, that the last thing parents wanted was another checklist to go through, another strict thing to have to stick to with their children. We're making our summer learning program all about learning at home, learning what you want to learn using library resources or whatever you have around the house. We're looking for opportunities for our community to share what they've learned and engage. So each week we'll have a different theme, and you can go onto our Facebook page and find out what the theme is and then post something that you've done at home. For example, our first week was something that you've created at home. We know we've had a lot of art projects out there in the community, so just take a picture of it, post it on the post that we put out there, and we'll be doing a drawing, picking a random post to win a gift certificate to a local business somewhere in our community. We wanted to really provide a way with our summer learning program for our community to be able to connect and engage with each other while also supporting local businesses. You can visit us online at our website at www.lexpublib.org, lexpublib.org. You can visit us on Facebook at Lexington Public Library, and you can use the hashtag LPL at home to share what you've been learning and creating over the summer.
The pandemic has not only changed our daily routines, but for many it has caused significant financial hardship. Feed Our Neighbor seeks to ease some of that strain through its food program.
people have had the rug pulled out from under them. They might even, have a very good job, but never envisioned that they were in an industry where they would be laid off or furloughed or would literally lose everything temporarily. So what we wanted to do was set something up where people could come and get food. The really neat thing, the cool thing about it is it's not a hot meal, it's soup. We hand out jars of soup. Some of it is frozen. It's not, they take it home, you have to heat it up, but it lasts for a family for like 3 to 5 days. And we distribute 2 days a week on Wednesdays and Saturdays here at Southland Church on Richmond Road. And people can come pick that up, and along with that they get bread and they get eggs. Now, the only thing that they have to do is go to our website, which is feedourneighbor.com, and fill out a questionnaire. The reason we want that information is, 1, we want to know how many members in the family, and 2, we want to know if you have any allergies. In the event that you need a special, like maybe you're allergic to eggs, for instance, that's a very common allergy. Maybe you're celiac and you need gluten-free. All of the soups and the breads are gluten-free. How do people get involved with Feed Our Neighbor? Very simply, you go to the website and you hit the volunteer button and you say what you would like to do, and we will be in contact with you, because you can distribute food, you can help us distribute, help us organize, you can do all kinds of things to help out, and chefs can cook. And so let me re-emphasize when we're doing this. It's going to be on Wednesdays and Saturdays at 2 o'clock at Southland Church. Up on this left-hand side, just look around, we'll have signage out that clearly point the way, and people just need to come to that location, and we'll already, because they have registered on the website, we will be able to hand out the number of meals that they need to feed their family for 3 to 5 days, and they need to re-register each time too. How people can contact us is going to our website, feedourneighbor.com. Also, you can contact me, Sylvia at sylvialovely.com, or Denise Walsh at Miracle Bakery. And we'll be glad to help you out or answer any questions that you have, but go to the website. That's the best place to go, feedourneighbor.com. This is important to know. It's for anyone. It's for anyone. This is good, solid, nourishing food. It's really important food, and it will feed a family. And no one has to worry about coming up and justifying why they're there. We understand that a lot of people lost their jobs during this pandemic, maybe temporarily, maybe permanently, but come and get some of this food. It's wonderful.
Although their regular programs have changed, Parks and Recreation is still offering a modified schedule of activities for you to take part in. Here's what's happening in June.
At Parks and Recreation, we are constantly looking for new ways to be there for the community while being safe and following the guidelines we're being given by the CDC and the governor. So right now, a few of the things that you can enjoy at Parks and Rec are the boat dock at Jacobson Park. You can go golf at any of our golf courses. Our nature areas are open, and over 100 parks in Lexington are currently open. A few of the things you'll see still remaining closed are the playgrounds and the basketball courts present in all of our parks in Lexington. Right now I'm at Raven Run Nature Sanctuary. This is a great place to come with your household for a hike. You get to enjoy nature, you get some physical activity. Registration is free, but we do ask that everyone hop online and register a time slot to come hike. That helps us make sure that there's plenty of room for safe social distancing when you come for a visit. Like everyone else, we're taking this day by day, so please follow along with us on social media and visit our webpage at lexingtonky.gov/parks for the most updated information.
The city has suspended most regular meetings due to the pandemic until further notice, but some have been meeting virtually. Lex TV is covering several virtual meetings live. Check out our website for the most accurate and up-to-date coverage of city business. We're here to keep you up to date on our official COVID-19 response site. Simply click on the banner at the top of our homepage. That's all for now, but as always, you can keep up with us on social media, check out the latest traffic updates on Twitter at LexRex, or catch our live traffic cams on lexingtonky.gov. For all of us at Lex TV, I'm Neil Noah, and that's it for now.